and welcome to Core with Core. Today we have a quick workout. All will be done on the mat. I have a booty band around my legs. If you have one lying around the house, feel free to grab it. If you don't have one, that's totally fine. You can do it without. And whenever you're ready, we're going to be lying on our backs with our feet on the ground and our hands next to us. So making our way onto the back in one direction. Head completely down. Hands are on either side of us. We're just going to go in some sways to get into our neutral. So rocking those knees from one direction to the other. Noticing that bone we're feeling as we sway side to side. It is our sacrum bone. We're trying to find a place of balance on it. Once we find that place, we're going to hold those knees still. And we'll switch to pelvic rocking. So I want you to think about moving those hip bones. You're going to move the hip bones down towards the mat and then move them away. Feeling that pressure of the back onto the mat. And then arching away. And repeat. Same as before, make them a little bit smaller, trying to find that place of balance. And then once we found that place, we're going to hold that still. That is your neutral, where you feel even from east to west and north to south. We're going to hold that belly button into our spine, tuck our rib cage down to our hips, and we're going to go into a glute bridge. So you want to kick those ankles back a little bit closer towards your glutes. And we're just going into a narrow stance. You're going to exhale, lift those hips up to sky. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap down. Keep that head down. Squeeze those glutes each time you come up. The focus isn't to go into an extension. It's just to find that engagement in those glutes. So when you find that engagement, you pause there, squeeze them, and then lower down. Make sure you're continuing to lower your ribs down to your hips to avoid any back pain. All right, on our next one, we're gonna add an abduction. So you're gonna lift up, you're gonna open your knees, squeeze knees together, lower down. Exhale, lift up, open knees, squeeze knees, lower down. Waking up the sides of those glutes by adding that knee opener. Continue to tuck rib cage down. We have 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. Lower yourself all the way back down. Hug those knees. Take that rest. Before we go into our single leg bridge, we're going to fire up the core so we feel more core engagement in that single leg. So we're going to rest those knees above our hips, or you can bring them a little bit closer to your chest if that feels better for you. We'll place our hands behind our head. Our elbows will come wide. If you are feeling any neck or back pain today, I want you to keep your head down. Otherwise, we're going to exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders, hold in that ab curl. You're going to kick one leg out, separating that band if you have it. Pull back in. Exhale, reach out. Make sure that head stays heavy in your hands. You're not cranking your neck. And we'll switch to double leg kicks. Both legs come out. Both knees come in. Exhale, reach. Inhale, bend. You can add those arms where you hug into a ball. And then reach everything out. Inhale, hug into a ball. Exhale, reach everything out. For 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Kick those legs up to sky. You can either hold that ab curl or rest your head down for this one. You're gonna lower your legs, lift back up to sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Keep those legs nice and straight. If you feel any tension in your back, then you can bend the knees, tap toes, lift up. You decide. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 more exercises to go. Grab the back of your calf or the back of your thigh. Pull that leg in. Switch, grab the other one. And switch. Let's add a double pull. So pull, pull, switch. pull, pull, switch. Adding breath, you exhale, exhale, switch. Exhale, exhale, switch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final exercise. Hands are behind the head, the elbows are wide. Exhale, twist, come to center. Exhale, twist to the other side, come to center. You got it. Only 3 more. 2. And rest. Drop that head all the way down. Hug those knees. And then when we're ready, we'll lower those feet back onto the ground. We want to have those heels back into our glutes, and we'll start with that single leg bridge. So let's take our right knee into our chest, point that right toe, lift up those hips, lower back down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. You have 3, 2, and 1. Keep those hips nice and high. Lower that leg, lift back up. Lower the leg, lift back up. Getting some burn for that core, as well as that standing glute, that left glute. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kick that leg to ceiling, lower all the way down. Give that legs a nice stretch. All right, we will go on to the other side to finish off this bridge series. So we have that left knee bent into chest, that right heel is into the glute. Exhale, lift up, inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower down. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted, drop that toe, lift back up. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. You got it. Firing up that oblique. For 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Straighten that leg out, drop those hips. Take that stretch to the other side. All right, we will lower those legs all the way down. We will roll ourselves up to seated. Take off that band. We are done with it for class. And then when we're ready, we will come onto our left hand. We'll have our hips down. We're gonna extend that top leg out nice and long, coming up on that left hand and that left knee. Finding that half side plank position, using that supporting leg to help you. We're gonna keep that hand on our hip. We're gonna exhale, lift our leg up. Inhale, crunch knee into chest. Lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, crunch knee to chest. Working those obliques a little bit more here. Keep that neck nice and long. We have 3. Last 2. And last 1. Whew, those are challenging. Let's take a stretch real quick. Over to the other side. And then before we switch over to the other leg, we are gonna go into some mermaid crunches. So we're gonna place our hands behind our head. That leg stays out nice and long again. And we dip that elbow down towards the mat. Come back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You decide how low you can get without disrupting that straight line of that body. Keep those hips lined up next to each other. We're gonna add some rotation. If your body does not like any rotation, I want you to stick right here. Otherwise, we're gonna twist towards the mat, open our arms, place hands back to head, twist back to me, come back up, lower down, twist to mat, open arms, hands back to head, twist back to me. You got it. Last two. And last one. Opening those arms, returning them to head, twist to me, come up to seated. We'll take that side body stretch over to one direction, lower back down, bring it over to the other side. All right, we will now take that right hand, it's gonna come down onto our mat, as well as our left leg will come up nice and long. All right, we are going to lift that leg again, lower back down, bring that knee to chest. And again, lift that leg again, lower down, bring knee to chest. Very challenging here, take it nice and slow, controlling each movement. You have 4. Last 3. 2. And last 1. Lift that leg, drop it back down. Take that quick stretch for that one side. And then we'll come back down. We'll do those mermaids on this side now. So we're now dipping on the other oblique. Come back up. Lowering down. Come back up. Using that top oblique to help that full body rotate back to that starting position. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes to help with that balance. Last 3, 2. Let's add that twist. We dip down, we shift towards the mat, we open those arms. And again, we dip down, we twist, we open those arms. Only doing this if your body likes rotation. If this is too much, I want you to stick with those lower lifts. Last 2. And last 1. Opening up, closing down, take that twist, come up to seated, drop that knee. We'll do those stretches again. Going to one side, and then swinging around and going to the other side. All right, we have made it to the final portion of class. We are just gonna warm up our arms a little bit more. So I'm gonna be on my side. You can pick whichever direction you wanna be in, or you can be facing me. It does not matter either way. I'm going to fold my mat in half just to give some support for my knees while I sit on them. We're going to start with our hands in prayer position. So our palms are going to be touching, our elbows are going to be in tight. We're going to open those arms to goalpost. Squeeze to close. Open back up to goalpost. Rounding out those shoulders each time we open and close. And then on our next one, each time we open a goalpost, we're going to add a squat. So we squat down, squeeze everything to close. Find that squat, squeeze everything to close. So you're hinging forward, stopping right above those ankles, not sitting, and then coming back up. Find that hinge, squeeze those glutes to help you come up to standing or kneeling. Keeping that spine straight, using that core to help you. We have 4, 3, 2, and on our last one, we'll hold in that squat, hold that goalpost arm, reach up, drive back down. working out those back muscles. Think about gliding those elbows down that spine. Reach back up and repeat. Keep tucking that rib cage down to those hips. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up to seated. We're gonna reach those arms out nice and long. I'm gonna shift to face you guys. And we're gonna go into our overs and unders. So you're scooping under, scooping up. You got it. Feeling those shoulders on fire, using those biceps to help hold the arms up high. Holding that core in nice and tight. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going into the circles, choose one direction, rounding out for a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those arms for 1 quick second, and then we have our final push for those triceps. You're gonna reach that one direction on your mat, so your hands are on the mat. Your shoulders are gonna be right above those wrists, and we'll find a slight hinge back onto those hips, so we can dip down into that tricep and push back up. Dipping down to that tricep, push back up. Try and lower those elbows down to that mat, and then find that squeeze in those backs of arms. Keep those fingers nice and wide. Let's go for 8, 7, last 6, 5, 4,